let me just rant real quick. I need to let this go. I need to let this out. I need to let this out. So, I have been super duper hardcore into D&D as of recently, like a lot. Okay, and as of recently, I've been watching a new a D&D podcast called the One Piece D&D podcast, where they play D&D but in the One Piece world, and they change around some rules so it would fit with One Piece's like power system and stuff. So I was watching Jujutsu Kaisen just earlier today, and I was like, damn, this show would work really, really fucking good with the D&D combat. Like, really good. Okay? And the power system and stuff. So not only does the world work, because you can just go on simple little missions, because D&D usually has you in a central town, and you go out and do certain missions for certain people, with there being an overarching plot. So you can have Jujutsu Tech be your main center with all the NPCs, and then you go out and kill curses and stuff that could act as your random encounter monsters. But I think cursed energy could work really, really well as a cool power system within this D&D game that you play. You see, you can reinforce your attacks or yourself in order to take less damage or do more damage with cursed energy. So having like a cursed energy gauge with you have like 16 cursed energy. Okay, so you can half the damage of this attack if you use like 3 cursed energy, or something like that, by reinforcing your body, or double the damage of the attack by using 3 or energy or something like that. Your curse techniques would be like your spells in this game, and you can have different curse techniques based off your character. Like, imagine how Boogie Woogie would work, or Toto's technique. In Jujutsu Kaisen, he claps his hands and can switch places with an enemy or ally of his choice. Imagine how cool that would be in D&D, to switch with your enemy to get him close to your ally and they can start doing damage immediately. Or you can teleport your ally out of the way to take damage for them if they're about to die. That instantly sounds like such a cool strategic ability to use in combat. Or you can also think about how domain expansions would work in this, as now you can make the battlefield something to more of your liking. Also, they say that domain expansions, attacks in there always hit, meaning in this D&D game, that it would always bypass AC, armor class, and would always hit. This would be super cool to turn the tides against almost anyone, but I think it would only be fair if it took, like, all of your cursed energy in order to use, which I think is how it actually works in the series. I think this would be so cool to use, and I've been like literally sitting here like fanning about like, oh my god, this would be so cool. I think the Jujutsu Kaisen power system is really cool to use, but also the world as well. In the One Piece D&D, one of the main characters, William, the captain, had he ate the roulette fruit, which gave him a roulette which he could spin and then get a random power that's both from the series, or it could be one that's completely made up for this game. It could be like anything, and so each combat he gets a random power and has to adapt and work with it. This made for such interesting fights, as anything could happen now. And I think that would be so sick. Like, imagine if your technique was a cursed roulette, and you like spun a little roulette, and now in your mind you have like a random curse technique. You could get Boogie Woogie, you could get like curses. Imagine if you got like Gojo's Infinity. Imagine how sick that would be. And it would be a lot like I think his name is Hanajiki, the new guy from the manga most recently, who had the slot machines for his curse technique, where he would get like a random stat boost. But be like that, but instead of a random stat boost, you get like a real like random you get like a real random power. That would be so cool. Like, I'm just saying, man, if anyone wants to do this, I'm just saying, this would be really, really cool.
Hey champ, that's really interesting. Next time, keep it to yourself.